Well, I'm going to keep this one brief. It is Tuesday, 7:45 p.m. I have to be up at 5:30 for work, so I have to make good use of my time tonight. So I'm going to work on some songs. I have a beat from Papreem that I'm working on. It's pretty dope. Today was a long day. Trying better to manage anxiety and stress and stuff. So, just been praying a lot. Reading my Bible. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of research lately about record deals and what to avoid, what to know. Because my big thing is, if I don't have creative control, then this is really enough for nothing. I might not make as much money on the front end. But I really want to be able to have control. I don't want to just go from working for somebody at a job that I don't like to going to work for a record label, essentially. Like, I don't want to be I don't want to be the record label's employee. Not that I don't want to be held accountable by a higher authority figure per se, but it has to be on my terms. And that's the thing, is like, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it the right way, and it's going to be on my terms. Because if I'm going to do this, I don't really see a reason for, I don't want to set myself up to be in a bad position with my label, right? I'm thinking about different labels that have really good creative liberties. Year 0001 or year 1001, I think that's how you say it. It's a label that Lean and Sad Boys are on, and that would be really dope. Just because there's so many artistically liberated people associated with that record label that I can't imagine they have very much kind of, controlling kind of attitude towards their artists. But I recognize if I go to a label like that or stay independent, I'm probably not going to make as much money, which is fine. But I just don't want someone to control me. I want someone to believe in my vision. I thought about reaching out to Young Lean's previous lawyer, John Machat, I think is his name. So it sounds like he has a vested interest in helping artists really preserve their artistic form. And that's my thing, is I want to be able to do shows when I want to do shows. I want to be able to turn things down. I want to be able to have creative control over my projects. And right now I'm deciding whether or not I want to release songs, or maybe even work towards an album right now. Because I have several songs that I'm working on right now that I think would make a really, really cool album, and I kind of have an energy that I've been sort of toying with in my brain about it. So we'll see. I'm also working with some beats from Internet Joe, who is super, super talented producer. But yeah, I just want to be ready, I feel like so many artists just get really short-sighted with the prospect of, an advance from a label, that they pretty much just screw themselves. But I'm really blessed to have business knowledge and have an entrepreneurial education. As much as I have a chip on my shoulder about 4 years in the toilet. Not to say that I didn't make great friends and have great experiences, but for going into debt for $30,000 and making $45,000 a year at a job from, because of that education. And most people I work with don't have college educations. which is fine. I'm not saying I don't think I'm better than anybody because of that. I'm just saying, like, my college education did not give me this job, so I'm still in debt. You know, it's just stupid. But I mean, there's nobody to blame. You know, if anybody, it's, you know, I don't know. I'm trying to get out of the victim mindset. I have like this at work. I have like a tally on my cubicle on like the glass part. I use an expo marker, and every day I put a check mark or like a tally basically. And one of my coworkers is like, "What's that for?" And I keep making up some stupid answer because I don't want him to be. I don't want to tell him like, "Yeah, these are the number of days I've sacrificed for this company. These are the number of days that I've given up freely to work here." Because at first my attitude was like, "Man, how many more days am I gonna let them take for me?" You know. And I was like, "Whoa, that's not the right attitude," because that's a victim mindset. Like I'm being victimized, when in reality, I have to realize that I'm freely giving my time. I'm freely making that decision because I have to pay my bills and I don't want to get evicted and I have to whatever, right? I have to find a way to make money. It's just common sense, right? So I have to have the attitude of, no, I'm freely coming here by my own volition. No one's making me do this. It's totally my choice. And that's getting me out of the victim mindset because I think it better sets me up for success down the road and success now to say, no, I'm in charge of this. No one's taking anything from me. Because whenever you have that mentality of, no, nobody's taking anything from me, I'm giving this, that puts you in a better stance for, I think, in just a lot of different ways of, it leaves me without an excuse. It's the same way I think about working out or being disciplined or whatever, having a work ethic is, I'm not going to give into the victim mentality in the sense that this is all by my choosing. This is all me. I'm making all these decisions. Nobody's forcing my hand, right? And I think that better gives me confidence to do things I need to do. And I think it just sets me up better psychologically to execute. Because once you stop saying, how much more am I going to let people take? It's not it. The question has to be, okay, at what point am I going to stop giving my time to this company? At what point am I going to stop doing this? Because if you take on that responsibility, you better empower yourself to achieve in other ways, I think. I think there's just a lot of different things, like, with the music industry being the way that it is and having the odds stacked against you as an artist. Instead of coming at it with a victim mentality of like, this is super unfair, like, I don't get paid much at all for streams or whatever. There just has to be another reason why I can't, like, there has to be so many reasons why this won't work, and that has to be, okay, like, well, then let's, in spite of it being this way, in spite of the industry being this way, in spite of me being in this position at this job that is soul crushing and it is terrible, and it's not that the job itself sucks, it's just, that's just not for me. That's just not right for me. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like a lot of these kind of video diaries turn into rants, but I mean, this is just how I think about things, and this is just the way that I see them, and it's just being really honest. And I think that's why I'm different. I think that's why it sets me apart in a lot of ways, because I just don't think about things the same way, as I've said before, and I'm sure I'll say again. But yeah, I'm just confident. I just know that this is the right thing to do. I just know. I just have no doubt at all. And I don't really care, It's cool once you reach that point where it's like, I'm just gonna do this, and people may think it's stupid, but that's okay, I'm not really doing it for anybody else, do it because I think it's right for me. I think it's good for me and makes me happy, I'd rather just do things that make me happy for my job. Like, it's pretty self-explanatory. The reason why it's hard is you don't really make very much money at first, or any money at all. So people have a hard time getting behind that. Because, you know, if you have more money, then you're happy, right? Because that's not, I just don't think that's how that works, to be honest. I was being sarcastic. I don't think you are happier when you have more money. And I've really tried to become content and thankful with what I have now. Because if I never got a new car, or I never got cooler clothes, or if I made the same amount of money right now, I did for the rest of my life, I'd have to find a way to be okay with that, and be okay with where I am now. And not that I'm giving up the drive to achieve or become better. I'm just saying, if I never made more money than I'm making right now to the dollar, and if I drove the same car for the rest of my life, and I had the same, like if I didn't really get to, have all these luxuries or whatever, would I be okay? Yeah, I absolutely, I would. It would be a bummer sometimes, but I'm thankful for what I have. I'm very thankful. I had dinner tonight, I got to go to a gym and work out. It's a really nice gym, I put gas in my car, and, I ate a hot meal. It was microwaved, but, I'm healthy. I have a great brain, I have a great mind, I think. I don't think that's being prideful. I just think I have a good mind, that can conjure these things and execute and bring these things into reality, artistically. I have a lot of confidence. I think I'm handsome. My grandmother has always told me that I'm a handsome young man, so, you hear that enough, it starts to go to your head, I guess. But, I'm healthy. I have people who care about me and love me. I don't get to see them very often, and it's very lonely. And sometimes I feel like I'm on my own, but people are out there that love me. They're great parents, great family. I remember at work a couple weeks ago, I was just really, really tired. It was really hard for me to stay awake, and we were in this meeting, and I was just so tired, and it was like I was just like gritting my teeth, and like I was just like floating in and out of consciousness. I was just so tired. And then this woman started to talk about her daughter, who has a really perplexing and just completely debilitating illness, and she's like in high school. And I remember her talking about her, and she was just kind of not going on a rant, but she was just kind of getting some stuff off her chest, kind of subconsciously, I guess. And at first I was like, kind of like, rolling my eyes in my mind. And I started to realize like all the things that she was saying about how totally debilitating this disease is. And I was just thinking, man, I'm so thankful that I'm healthy. Like there's just no excuse. I just don't have an excuse, It's what I'm doing is hard. It makes me very tired. It's very lonely. It's very taxing. It's psychologically taxing. It's physically taxing. It's financially taxing. All these things. And I just think like it takes somebody with a, I don't know. I'm just so all praise to the Most High. Like I've been given so many opportunities, and it would just be wrong of me to waste those. It would be wrong of me to squander that and make excuses as to why I can't do this. Like if you were to take somebody who had a debilitating disease and had nothing, and you were to put them in my shoes and they said, all right, here's what you have to do. You have to do all these things. Like, this is the game plan. They would knock it out of the park. They would just crush it, because you get soft. And that's why I'm glad that I'm not in a job where I make more money. Yeah, like sometimes I think like, wow, I'm underpaid and this is really hard and sucky. And this sucks because I'm not getting paid, I don't think, fairly. Or just barely under what's fair, in my opinion. But I'm really glad that's not, like, I'm glad that I don't get paid more because it would make me soft. I know it would. I just know it would make me soft. And it would deter my sense of urgency that I have constantly. Because I'm constantly like walking on a razor's edge, and I just have no choice but to swan dive every day further and further. into my music and into my passion, my dreams. I just have no choice but to do that, because there's no option. There's no going back. There's no better job that I could have. Because I know that if I were to get another job that sometimes I go to work and I'm like, man, this sucks shit. I want a better job. But I don't, because this job is just bad enough. It's just tolerable enough to where, like, I'm not working outside or working landscape, which I've done and is very, very hard. And, you know, like, I'm just barely at the point of tolerability for my day-to-day that it's doable. And that makes me more inclined to be like, all right, let's stay up late. Let's get this done. Let's work. Because if I were on easy street, or even slightly easier street, I think I would get soft. So yeah, all right, I gotta get speaking of that. I'm gonna start working on some of these songs, but yeah, it's gonna be really cool to watch these one day in a documentary form. I think that's gonna be really cool. Who knows when it'll come out? You know, it's 2021. My birthday's coming up, turning 23, which is crazy. But it's totally gonna be worth it. Okay. All right. See y'all later.